Sigh. So after crying just a little bit after looking at crime scenes on the internet, I think it might be time to tell this story. It's just one of those moments when I randomly start thinking about it in a more serious mood than usual. It's gonna be long. So this happened about 4 months ago now, maybe more, but I really don't know for sure. Anyway, I was 19 years old, I've turned 20 by now, mid-February, and was going home from university after classes. I usually take my keys with me, but around that time, I had lost them and my mom was yet to take me get a new copy. I remember I kept insisting, but she wouldn't listen, so what I did was knock on the door to get my younger brother's attention so he'd come and let me in, but my mom also took his keys and just left him there locked up as well. I asked my brother to pass me my charger for my room and I called one of my aunties to see if I could go hang out at her workplace in the meantime. She said yes and then told me to call an Uber that she'd be paying for as soon as I got there, and that's what I did. Now, the Uber didn't pick me up exactly at home, it was in the house across the street instead. No special reason, it just did. The moment I saw the guy, he gave me kind of a weird vibe, but I also tend to be paranoid every time I so much as hop on a taxi, so I just got in, rolled down the window and kept a grip on both of my phones. It all seemed relatively normal until we got to the area where my aunt's workplace was. This was a convenience store at her home in a housing, I think that's what you call it? When there's like a private division, I don't know, but condominium didn't sound right. He just completely drove past it and claimed he was following the GPS when I asked him about it, but he wouldn't let me see said GPS. He seemed to know exactly where he was going. Now, I was kinda doomed from the beginning cause I don't know directions and I could only rely on the driver being a decent person and recognizing the area, which I did, but wherever he was taking me, I had no idea. I remember seeing this fountain that I could recognize from when Mom drove to my uncle's place, but that was like way farther away from my aunt's place. By now, I was kind of thinking of what to do cause this guy drove past a fuck ton of empty housings and a couple of them even seemed to be still under construction. Then he stopped near a place that looked like the end of civilization. We were literally on a hill, and then he turned off the car. I got lucky in so many ways, looking back on it. My phone had no credit. As soon as I thought of that, my aunt called me and asked, "Where are you?" And I literally felt my heart drop because I had no idea and this dude was just staring at me. I said I didn't know and asked him, "Hey, where did you take me?" And he replied with, "I wouldn't know what to tell you, kid." That was enough for me. I grabbed my backpack and opened the door real quick with a loud, "That's fine, I'll see myself out," and hauled ass like I hadn't in a very long time. I remember even being afraid of carrying my backpack on the back in case he'd chase me and pull on it, so I was holding it in my hand with my hoodie wrapped around my waist as I thought of where to hide. I thought of knocking on someone's door, but for some reason, that didn't seem safe to me at the moment. I remember telling my aunt not to hang up because he was still following me on the car. Then I saw an empty barren surrounded by concrete walls and a strong bar gate, except there was enough space under the gate to crawl in, so I literally threw the backpack and then crawled under. There was a huge electric control box and I opened it to crouch inside and hide, my aunt still on the phone. She, my other aunt and my uncle were all on a call with each other, putting credit on my phone and asking for my live location through WhatsApp, cause I had no idea where I was, literally in the middle of nowhere. I waited there for like 2 hours and this guy wouldn't leave. I even had to go pee outside the box and immediately ran back inside. There were even tiny spiders and old honeycombs, so I was also fighting both my arachnophobia and trypophobia. At some point, I'm guessing the guy left and my uncle got there in his truck. He didn't know where I was, so he kept honking and telling me to tell him when I could hear it closer. And then I finally did and got out. For a while, I thought maybe this had been a misunderstanding and I just jumped out of some guy's car like a maniac without even paying him. But then when I got home after staying at my aunt's pharmacy for a while until my mom, who still didn't know much about what had happened, picked me up, I checked the Uber app and not only did it say I had already paid, but it also said I made it to my destination, so I ruled that out. I had told my aunts not to tell Mom about it because she goes insane at the minor inconvenience, so telling her this would only freak her out and she wouldn't be any help. I only let her know when I called her to come get me and on our way to get a copy of that key, because of course, something bad had to happen until she actually listened to me, and nowadays she always puts credit on my phone. Anyway, so that's what went down. I had to Indiana Jones that shit twice, and to this day, my family brags about how I was able to keep myself perfectly composed and react quickly, which I'm still shocked about. I remember seeing broken glass and metal bars laying around and telling my aunt if I'm going down, I'm taking him with me in a joking manner because her blood sugar levels were fucking her over. On our way home, my mom told me I wasn't in hysterics because I was in shock and that it had hit me the next day. It didn't. I kept going around as normal, but last week she brought it up again and asked if I didn't think I was gonna die. I said of course, but that I also knew freaking out would only either make me easier target or just not help at all anyway. When I remember it, more than scared, I feel angry. I could have been one of the many girls who just disappear and are later found dead on a random hill or ditch, and I can't say I suffer survivor's guilt because in all honesty I don't, but I can't help but think that could have been me whenever another kid or teenager is on the news as missing or found dead. It really could have gone terribly wrong. My parents believed this guy was a rookie who maybe felt sorry for me and let me go, because if he had wanted to, he could have hurt me with some sort of weapon or just tried to kill me right then and there. I don't even know anymore. I sent his profile to all the girls I know so that if they ever happen to get him as their Uber driver, they can cancel. Since then, I don't take Ubers anymore. Wherever this guy is right now, I don't want to be ever again.